What's up, YouTube? Jet Fuel EDC here, and tonight got a zero tolerance knife to check out, like a beast. So this, my friends, is the ZT-0562 carbon fiber. It is a Rick Hinderer design, and I don't know if I should probably say this over YouTube, but ZT makes they follow through with some great Hinderer designs. They do them very well. Let's check this thing out. So, as you can see, you got a carbon fiber scale on the show side here. You got titanium on this side with a deep carry pocket clip. As you can see, it's a titanium insert with barreled back spacers. Love that open construction. There is no lanyard hole on this guy, so if lanyards are your thing, yeah, you're gonna have a tough time. This pocket clip is a pretty interesting design, though. It's left or right hand, tip up carry only, but the way they do it is it curls up over the scale there. I don't know if you can see it. There we go. And then it goes down and it actually clamps in behind that barreled back spacer. So if you want to change the pocket clip, you're gonna have to take this fastener out, and you pull that out, and you can pull the barrel out, flip it around, put the pocket clip on the other side, and then you ruin the show side. But anyways, let's get back to it. You can see you got a relief on the lock bar there. The stabilizer there, keep you from pulling her too far. It is a manual opening flipper. A lot of people get these confused as thumb studs. I mean, technically they can be thumb studs, but a lot of these Hinderer designs, you're not gonna, the detent's so tight on them, it's pretty, I can't do it. But really what it is an over travel stop. As you can see, it hits up there on the ramp and stops the blade from traveling too far. It is like I was saying, it's a manual opening flipper. It's riding on the KVT ball bearings. And it's kind of interesting the way that they did these ones. The blade actually has a cutout, so it's got a small cutout. That way, right there at the pivot, they used a thicker, I mean, it's maybe about yay thick ball bearing washer, and it's you can tell when you pull it out, it's much bigger. You're like, wow, that's pretty thick. But as you can see, the action on it is dialed in. It's super smooth, snappy, a little bit of shake and it falls shut. It's very well centered. You got about 30, get it to focus here, about 30% on the lockup. Yeah, I didn't beat the crap out of it, but I don't think that's going anywhere. That always seems to end up in the comments about the spine whacking. It's just let it go. Yeah, I kind of lost my train of thought there. So on the lock bar here, you got a hardened steel insert. Beautiful drop point blade. It's like got a couple swedges there. This is M390 blade steel. It's like I'm not sure, it's like a high flat grind compound. It's kind of a mixture of the two. because it, you know, as you can see, it rides up pretty high there. And this is my edge. This thing is wicked sharp. M390 is crazy easy to sharpen for me for whatever reason, and it holds the edge really good. But as you can see on the grinds, you got this satin finish, and then on the flats you got this stone wash. I really like how ZT does that. I wish some other knife makers would pick up on that and kind of roll with it. It just, I don't know, it just makes the knife look that much better in my eyes. Closed, you're looking at about 4 3/4. It is a larger knife, so you're looking at about 8 1/4 open. The blade on it, right at 3 1/2. Cutting length is about 3 1/2 as well. A little over 3 1/2. The blade thickness, 0.153, and handle thickness, 0.48. Get the weight here. Do a little weight on it. It, like I said, it's kind of a little bit of a pocket tank. It does have a little bit of weight on it. You can see 5.5 ounces and 156 grams. So with all that being said, let's get into some likes and dislikes. I've kind of changed the way I do things a little bit here and decided I'll end on good notes instead of ending on bad notes and give a recommendation at the end. But dislikes. So they have these fasteners and they kind of protrude out a little bit. I get the pivot, you know, I understand the pivot not setting flush, but the handle screws, it'd be nice. Like I said, this is just a nitpick. It's absolutely not a deal breaker, but I wish they would have set those down in flush, you know, sub flush. I kind of don't like how you have to, you gotta disassemble it to a certain point to change the pocket clip. It's not a problem for me, but it may be a problem for some lefties out there. And the pivot, it's a free spinning pivot. I'm not a fan of the free spinning pivot, excuse me. You're gonna have to have 2 Torx bits to disassemble and reassemble this knife, or tune up the action, or whatever you're trying to do, whatever kind of maintenance you're trying to do. You're gonna have to have 2 Torx bits, and a lot of people, they don't have 2 Torx bits. Yeah, so that's my dislikes. My likes, obviously the action. This thing, I mean, you could sit in a recliner, you could sit on a couch and just sit there. When I flicked this thing, the first time I was sitting there fidgeting with this thing, my old lady said, "I really hope you're not in there drinking beer and playing with guns," because she heard it clicking like that, and I guess she thought I was chambering rounds, or who knows. It kind of freaked her out a little bit. I thought it was funny. So the action on this thing is flawless, seamless, one-hand operation all day. Just, you could go left, right hand, however you want to do it. It's awesome. The next thing would have to be the deep carry pocket clip. Anytime you put a deep carry pocket clip on there, you're gonna get a thumbs up from me. No more to be said. The next thing would have to be that M390 blade steel. I am a huge fan of it. I love it. It sharpens well. It holds a good edge. I'm a huge fan of M390. And last but not least would have to be your carbon fiber scales. I'm a huge fan of carbon fiber. It makes it look that much better. I've actually thought about changing out the barreled back spacers and getting like some blue ones to kind of match some other things that go on. I mean, you can kind of look at this one right here, And see, you know, they put the blue in there, and it goes with that carbon fiber. It really does. It just kind of matches. So with that being said, yes, this is about a 200 and I've seen these knives. You can catch them on the secondary market for about 170, 160, 170, all the way up to 240. I mean, when you buy them new, they're obviously, you know, higher, and they've started using different steels, 20 CV, 204P, which, you know, pretty much is what I'm being told. I'm not a steel expert or anything, but what I've read and what I've seen, a lot of people say it's pretty much the same thing as your M390s. But yeah, that blade steel is pretty killer. That knife, they're coming in with G10 scales now, titanium. You know, you can pick it any way you want it. And it's a great knife. It's one of my favorites. I absolutely love that knife. If you have the budget for it, I couldn't recommend that knife enough. So that's my take on the ZTO 562. As always, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you later.